This ends now! Do it! Come!
After the Tournament of Power ended, all the gods of destruction were thinking about Goku and Vegeta and were angry. Belmod said that this time they were lucky, but if Goku keeps acting like this, one day he might even fight Zeno-sama, and in his anger, Zeno could erase everything. Goku and Vegeta are a threat to all existence, and something must be done about them. Belmod contacted all the gods of destruction and made an announcement. On the other side, Whis and Beerus were in their palace resting. Whis noticed Beerus and asked, "Is something bothering you, Lord Beerus? You've been sitting there for quite a while. You can tell me whatever you're thinking." Beerus replied, "I've thought a lot, Whis, and I've come to the conclusion that Goku and Vegeta are a threat to all universes." Whis remained calm. Beerus continued, "We have to do something. I can sense danger whenever they stand before the king of everything." Whis said, "I understand." Just then, Whis received a call from God Belmod. Belmod said, "Beerus, I've called all the gods of destruction to my universe to discuss something important. I'll be clear, we will be talking about your universe's Goku and Vegeta." Beerus replied, "I understand why you're saying this." Belmod said, "Yes, those two are a threat to all universes." Beerus answered, "All right, we're coming." After saying this, Belmod ended the call. Then we see Whis taking Beerus to Belmod's universe, where all the gods of destruction had gathered. Quitella said, "So tell us quickly, how are we going to deal with Goku and Vegeta? Zeno-sama trusts them a lot, and that's also a problem. One day they might even eliminate us." Champa agreed, saying, "He's right, we need to eliminate them before things get out of hand." Eric then said, "But if we do that and Zeno-sama finds out, he'll erase us because Son Goku is his friend." Beerus said, "I've figured something out. In my universe, there's a room where they train. It's a separate dimension about which very little is known. If we lock them inside and destroy the entrance, they'll never be able to come out, and if they die inside, it will be considered an accident." All the gods of destruction agreed with Beerus's plan. Beerus said, "I'll handle everything." Then Whis took Beerus back to Universe 7. They went to Earth and met Bulma. Bulma asked, "Beerus, why are you both here after so many days?" Beerus said, "Call everyone here immediately. This is important. The future of this universe depends on it." Bulma gathered everyone. Gohan asked, "What happened, Lord Beerus?" Piccolo asked, "Where are Goku and Vegeta?" Beerus replied, "They're not here because we are going to talk about them." Beerus then explained his plan to all the Z-fighters. Everyone was shocked. Krillin's voice trembled with anger. "What do you mean they're a threat to the universe? We'll never do this. Goku and Vegeta are our friends. They've saved us from danger every single time." Gohan stepped forward, his fists clenched. "That's right. I would never do anything against my father. He's protected this planet, this universe, more times than I can count." Bulma's face turned red with fury. "What's wrong with all of you? Have you gone completely insane? We will never betray our friends." Beerus's eyes narrowed dangerously. Without warning, his hand shot up, surrounded by purple destructive energy. Hakai! The energy sphere expanded instantly. Bulma's eyes widened in shock for just a split second before her entire body disintegrated into nothingness. Not even ash remained. "Bulma!" Krillin screamed, his voice breaking. "No!" Vegeta Jr. collapsed to his knees, unable to believe what he just witnessed. Beerus lowered his hand slowly, his expression cold and emotionless. "Remember this moment carefully. I am a god of destruction. I will not tolerate such disrespect ever again." Piccolo's eyes blazed with fury. His purple aura exploded around him as he removed his weighted cape and turban. "You monster, you'll pay for that." Piccolo charged forward with incredible speed, his fist aimed directly at Beerus's face. But Beerus simply tilted his head slightly, dodging effortlessly. "Special beam cannon," Piccolo shouted, his fingers touching his forehead as he gathered spiraling energy. The beam shot forward with devastating power, but Beerus caught it with one finger, spinning it around before flicking it back. The attack exploded against Piccolo, sending him crashing through 3 buildings. Destructo Disc! Krillin launched multiple energy discs from different angles. Beerus didn't even look. With a casual wave of his hand, all the discs shattered into harmless sparkles. Gohan powered up to Super Saiyan 2, lightning crackling around his body. Masenko! Ha! The golden beam shot toward Beerus with tremendous force. Beerus stood still, letting the attack hit him directly. When the smoke cleared, he was completely unharmed, not even a scratch on his clothes. Is that all? How disappointing. Gohan gritted his teeth and transformed further. Ultimate Gohan. His power surged dramatically. He appeared behind Beerus with blinding speed and unleashed a devastating combo. Left hook, right uppercut, spinning kick, followed by a barrage of energy blasts at point-blank range. Boom! 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 The explosions lit up the sky, but when they faded, Beerus was standing in the exact same position, looking bored. "My turn," Beerus said calmly. He moved so fast that no one could track him. One moment he was standing still, the next his fist was buried deep in Gohan's stomach. Gohan's eyes went wide as he coughed up blood. Beerus grabbed Gohan by the face and slammed him into the ground with such force that a massive crater formed, spreading cracks for miles in all directions. Piccolo, bloodied and barely conscious, struggled to his feet. "We won't let you..." Silence. Beerus raised one finger, and a tiny sphere of destruction energy formed at its tip. He flicked it toward Piccolo. The sphere moved slowly, almost lazily, but when it touched Piccolo's shoulder, it began spreading. Piccolo screamed in agony as the Hakai energy slowly consumed his arm. "Stop! Stop!" Gohan crawled forward desperately. "Please, Lord Beerus." Beerus snapped his fingers, and the Hakai energy dissipated. Piccolo collapsed, his entire left arm gone. The other Z-fighters, Tien, Yamcha, Chiatsu, all stood frozen in terror. They had never seen power like this. The gap was insurmountable. Beerus looked at each of them slowly. "This decision has been made by all the gods of destruction. You have 2 choices. Support this plan, or I will erase this planet and everyone on it. Not just Earth, I'll destroy every planet in this solar system." To emphasize his point, Beerus raised his hand toward the sky. A massive purple sphere of destruction energy formed above Capsule Corp, growing larger and larger. The energy pressure alone caused buildings to crack and crumble. "Decide now," Beerus commanded, his voice echoing with divine authority. Piccolo, clutching his destroyed arm, spoke through gritted teeth. "Fine, we'll do it." "Piccolo, no!" Krillin protested. Piccolo's eyes met Krillin's, filled with pain and rage. "We have no choice. Don't you see? Goku and Vegeta are no match for the gods, especially with all the angels supporting them. If we resist, Earth dies. Everyone dies. At least this way, maybe they'll survive in that room." The sphere above them slowly dissipated as Beerus lowered his hand. A wise decision. "Whis, we're done here." Whis, who had been watching silently with a troubled expression, nodded. "Yes, Lord Beerus." As they departed, Gohan punched the ground weakly, tears streaming down his face. "Father, I'm so sorry." We then see Goku and Vegeta meeting. Vegeta asked, "What are you doing here?" Goku replied, Gohan told me Whis wants to meet me for some special training. Vegeta, surprised, said, Piccolo told me the same thing. Goku replied, yeah, he said he'd meet me in the time chamber. Vegeta said, this is strange, and I haven't seen Bulma for many days. Goku said, calm down, Vegeta. Then we see Goku and Vegeta arrive at the sacred temple and see Whis. Vegeta asked, what's going on, Whis? Whis replied, so you've arrived. Lord Beerus asked me to train you because very soon there will be another tournament of power where all universes will participate. Hearing this, Goku became shocked and excited. Then Dende arrived looking nervous and said, the room is ready now, Mr. Whis. Goku looked at him and said, hello, Dende, you look kind of strange. Vegeta immediately sensed something was wrong.
Krillin arrived at the sacred lookout, breathing heavily, his heart pounding. He saw Goku and Vegeta standing near the entrance to the hyperbolic time chamber, talking with Whis. I can't do this, Krillin shouted at the top of his lungs. Goku, Vegeta, this is a trap. All the gods want to eliminate you. They've planned to lock you inside the time chamber forever. Goku's cheerful expression immediately turned serious. What? Krillin, what are you? Vegeta's eyes narrowed dangerously. I knew something felt wrong from the start. So all the gods are against us now? Krillin nodded frantically. Yes, Beerus came to us with threats. He said if we didn't cooperate, he would destroy Earth. That's why Piccolo and Gohan brought you here. But that's not all. His voice broke. Beerus, he killed Bulma. Time seemed to stop. Vegeta's entire body went rigid. His eyes widened in disbelief, then slowly his pupils dilated as pure, unbridled rage took over. What did you just say? The ground beneath Vegeta began to crack. His aura exploded outward, blue energy mixed with white lightning crackling violently. You killed Bulma? Vegeta's scream shook the entire lookout. Suddenly, a calm voice cut through the tension. You insects, everything was proceeding perfectly. You will deeply regret not obeying me. Beerus materialized on the lookout, his expression cold and annoyed. Hakai! Before anyone could react, purple energy engulfed Krillin. His body began to disintegrate from the feet up. No, no, tell Chi-Chi, tell 18, I'm sorry. Krillin's last words faded as he completely vanished. Krillin! Goku's voice was filled with anguish. How could you do this? Goku's energy exploded, his hair flickering between black and gold. But before either Saiyan could move, an overwhelming pressure crushed down from above. Both Goku and Vegeta were slammed face first into the ground under an invisible force. The entire lookout shattered under the pressure, crumbling into pieces that began falling toward Earth below. What is this power? Goku struggled to even lift his head. Then they appeared, all 11 remaining gods of destruction, standing in a circle around the fallen Saiyans, along with their angel attendants. The combined divine pressure was suffocating. Champa walked forward, laughing mockingly. They went down from a single suppression attack? How pathetic. Come on, you failures. Get them up and throw them in that time prison. Quitella cackled. I told you these mortals were overrated.
Rumshi grunted. The tournament of power made them arrogant. Now they learn their place. Beerus raised his hand, lifting the pressure slightly. Get up. You're embarrassing yourselves. Goku pushed himself to his hands and knees, blood dripping from his mouth. Vegeta was shaking with rage, his fists digging into the broken ground. Goku, we need to transform, Goku gasped. I know, Vegeta roared. Both Saiyans began powering up simultaneously. Their auras exploded outward, blue energy surging as they transformed into Super Saiyan Blue. The combined force of their transformation created created a shockwave that pushed back several of the gods slightly. Goku and Vegeta stood in their Super Saiyan blue forms, breathing heavily, but ready to fight. Belmod clapped slowly, mockingly. Impressive light show, but ultimately meaningless. Hellas sighed. Such beautiful power wasted on mortals. Vegeta charged at Beerus with blinding speed, his fist surrounded by blue energy. "I'll kill you!" But Beerus caught Vegeta's fist with one finger. "Too slow," said Beerus, then headbutted Vegeta so hard that the Saiyan prince flew backward, crashing through the falling debris of the lookout. Goku appeared behind Champa, launching a barrage of punches and kicks at incredible speed. Champa blocked each one with minimal effort, looking bored. Goku placed his hands together, the blue beam erupting at point-blank range. Champa simply swatted the beam away with his hand, directing it into space, where it exploded harmlessly. "Is that really the best you can do?" Champa taunted. Moscow fired a massive energy blast at Goku. Goku dodged, but Sidra was already behind him, grabbing him by the head and slamming him downward. Vegeta recovered mid-air and fired hundreds of energy blasts at all the gods simultaneously.
The sky lit up with explosions. But when the smoke cleared, all the gods were standing completely unharmed. Some hadn't even bothered to defend themselves. "Our turn," Laqueer said calmly. All 11 gods moved simultaneously. Beerus appeared in front of Vegeta. "You forgot your place." He delivered a devastating punch combination. Stomach, ribs, face, uppercut, each hit faster than Vegeta could react. The final uppercut sent Vegeta soaring upward. Belmod appeared above him. Going somewhere? He axe-kicked Vegeta back down. Quatella caught Vegeta mid-fall and threw him to Moscow, who blasted him with laser beams. Vegeta crashed into the ground, reverting to his base form, his gi torn and bloodied. Meanwhile, Goku was facing his own nightmare. Champa, Rumshi, Hellas, and Arak were toying with him, appearing and disappearing, landing hits from all directions. "Kaioken, times 20! Goku's blue aura mixed with red as he pushed his body beyond its limits. His speed increased dramatically. He managed to land a solid punch on Champa's face, actually making the god stumble back. "Finally, some actual strength," Champa grinned. "But it's not enough." Champa grabbed Goku's extended arm and swung him around like a rag doll, smashing him into the ground repeatedly before throwing him to Beerus. Beerus caught Goku by the throat. "This is where your arrogance ends." Beerus's grip tightened, and Goku felt his consciousness fading. His Kaioken flickered out, his Super Saiyan blue form destabilizing. Vegeta struggled to his feet one more time, his body screaming in pain. Kakarot! But Sidra appeared behind Vegeta and chopped the back of his neck, knocking him unconscious. Beerus released Goku, who fell limply to the ground, also unconscious. The battle was over. It hadn't even lasted 5 minutes.
Whis floated down, along with all the other angels. Well, that was rather anticlimactic. Vados examined the unconscious Saiyans. To think these two survived the tournament of power. Against gods, they're nothing but children playing warrior. Mr. Popo slowly approached, his face expressionless, but his eyes betraying deep sadness. He carefully picked up Goku and discreetly slipped a small folded note into Goku's gi pocket. Dende watched from a distance, tears streaming down his face, but said nothing. "Take them inside," Beerus commanded.
Mr. Popo and Dende carried the unconscious Saiyans into the hyperbolic time chamber. The moment they were inside, the angels gathered at the entrance. "Everyone, combine your power," Whis instructed. All 12 angels raised their staves simultaneously. Brilliant light of different colors, blue, green, purple, golden, spiraled together, forming intricate patterns of divine energy around the time chamber entrance. The energy condensed, solidifying into an unbreakable seal covered in angelic script that glowed with eternal light. Vados examined their work. "Perfect. The seal is complete. They would need power exceeding all 12 angels combined to break through, and that is impossible." Margarita nodded. "Even if they train for 1,000 years, they cannot surpass us." Champa laughed. "So that's it? We won? All that worrying for nothing?" Beerus looked at the sealed entrance one last time, something unreadable in his expression. "It's done. They're no longer a threat." But deep inside, a small voice whispered doubt. Beerus had seen Goku and Vegeta overcome impossible odds before. He pushed the thought away. The gods and angels departed, leaving the sacred lookout in ruins. Inside the time chamber, Goku and Vegeta lay unconscious, unaware that their greatest trial was about to begin.
Outside the time chamber, Whis says Lord Beerus, Majin Buu, and the sons of Goku and Vegeta would be capable of coming out. With their power, they could open paths to other dimensions. Beerus, shocked, says, "Is that really true?" Belmod responds, "That's not a problem. Our angels can handle it." Vados says, "Excellent. Now those two will never be able to escape from here. However, if they somehow become stronger than the combined power of all angels, they could get out, but that is impossible." Champa then says, "So that means all universes are safe now, right?" A few hours later, inside the time chamber, Goku and Vegeta regain consciousness. Goku asks, "What happened?" Vegeta replies, "They locked us in here. Beerus killed Bulma. I will take revenge. He will pay for this." Goku says, "Vegeta, we have to get out of here." Vegeta responds, "Wait, Kakarot. This room isn't the same as before. They've modified it." Goku says, "But we still have to try." Vegeta agrees, "You're right. Let's try." Both Goku and Vegeta transform into Super Saiyan Blue and unleash their full power, but the room shows no reaction. Vegeta says, "I was right. They modified this place." He continues, "Those gods lied to us to bring us here. They betrayed us." Suddenly, Goku says, "Wait, Vegeta, look, what's this?" He pulls a piece of paper from his pocket and shows it to Vegeta. Vegeta says, "There's something written on it." He starts reading Mr. Popo's note. In it, Popo explains that Beerus threatened Dende to keep quiet, but Popo overheard everything. That's why he gave them the note. He writes that he will gather the Dragon Balls and wish for Goku and Vegeta to become immortal. There's plenty of food inside the room, and he hopes they will escape. Goku says, "This will help us a lot. Now all we need to do is train. Once we're ready, we'll get out of here." Days pass, and Mr. Popo gathers all the Dragon Balls. Along with Dende, he summons the dragon and wishes for the Saiyans, Goku and Vegeta, to become immortal. Inside the time chamber, Vegeta says, "Kakarot, can you feel anything?" Goku replies, "It seems Mr. Popo has found all the Dragon Balls and made the wish. Now we can train without worry." Vegeta says, "I swear I will get out of here and kill Beerus with my own hands." Goku and Vegeta begin training. While training, more than 8 years pass for them, which was equivalent to about 3,000 years inside the time chamber. They become stronger than even a god of destruction. Goku achieves Ultra Instinct, and Vegeta also reaches it. Both of them unlock another transformation as well, although mastering it still remains. For now, they can only use this transformation for about 30 seconds. The power it grants is immense and difficult to control. All their transformations have reached an entirely new level. Then Vegeta says, "Kakarot, the time has come." Goku replies, "You're right, Vegeta." Then we see Goku and Vegeta using Ultra Instinct, increasing their power even further,
and creating multiple portals. Vegeta says, "Now we should go." Finally, both of them enter one of the portals. After spending a long time inside the time chamber, Goku and Vegeta try to escape from it. Using Ultra Instinct, they opened several dimensional gates. Goku says, "We did it, but which gate should we go through? How do we decide?" Vegeta replies, "Let's just go into one first." Goku enters a dimensional gate and Vegeta follows him. They arrive in a dark place. Goku becomes nervous and says, "What is this? Where are we?" Vegeta is lying on the ground and says, "What just happened, Kakarot? Couldn't you choose a proper gate?" Then they realize they have entered a dimension whose gravity is even stronger than the time chamber. What they don't realize at first is that this place is similar to the old room. On Earth, 1 minute here means 100 years there. Goku and Vegeta get up. Goku says, "This place is extremely heavy. The moment we entered, we were slammed into the ground." Vegeta, "You were right. Let's try again." Vegeta says, "Listen to me, Kakarot. This place is more complex than the previous room. If we train here for a while, it won't be a bad thing." In his mind, Vegeta thinks, "Even in our transformation, this gravity forced us down. This is a good place to train." Vegeta then tells Goku, "This place is perfect for training. If we train a bit more here, we can master that new transformation."
Goku replies, "You're right, Vegeta. This place really is perfect for training, but it feels very complicated." Vegeta angrily says, "We've become extremely powerful, Kakarot, but who's to say that after we leave and defeat all the gods, Zeno-sama and the Grand Priest will let us go?" Goku says, "I don't think Zeno-sama would do something like that." Vegeta replies, "Anything can happen. We have to be prepared. Or do you not want to master that new transformation?" Goku agrees and says, "You're right. We should train more." Goku and Vegeta begin training in that dark dimension to grow even stronger. Meanwhile, at the King of Everything's palace, Zeno-sama decides to hold another tournament of power. All 12 universes will participate. The rules will be the same as before. The losing universes will be erased, and the winner will receive the Super Dragon Balls. The new tournament of power will begin after 35 Earth days. Beerus informs everyone and says that this time all universes will participate and that Goku and Vegeta will not be fighting alongside Universe 7. After 35 days, the gods of destruction arrive at the palace of the King of Everything with their fighters. Champa says to Beerus, "Brother, don't be sad. So what if your two strongest fighters aren't here? You weren't doing a great job anyway." Beerus tells him to be quiet. Then Zeno-sama asks, "Where is Goku? He should be here." Beerus replies, "Zeno-sama, Goku didn't want to participate in this tournament because he has some important work." Zeno becomes sad. Beerus continues, "Please don't worry. Goku's son is here and he's very powerful." Zeno says, "That's fine. My friend Goku is busy. Let's start the tournament." Just then, the Grand Priest looks at Beerus. The one who had given the order to take action against Goku was actually the Grand Priest himself, but he never let Zeno-sama find out. He had commanded the god of Universe 11 to gather the other gods and find a way to eliminate Goku and Vegeta. The tournament of power begins. Jiren says to himself, "If Goku isn't participating, we'll win easily this time. This will be boring." In another dimension, Goku says to Vegeta, "All right, Vegeta, the time has come." Vegeta replies, "Beerus will pay for what he's done." Goku says, "We've surpassed every limit. I feel like we've spent millions of years here." Vegeta agrees, "You're right. It feels like we've spent an incredible amount of time here. Immortality has its advantages. Now even those insects can't do anything to us." Just then, Goku says, "Vegeta, look at this." Goku shows Vegeta a button in his hand. Vegeta asks, "What is that?" Goku replies, "Zeno-sama gave me this button. Remember when we were fighting Goku Black?" Vegeta remembers and says, "So you can summon Zeno-sama here?" Goku explains, "Not just that, we can also teleport to wherever he is." Vegeta is shocked and shouts, "What? You realize this after all these years?" Goku laughs and says, "Don't get angry, Vegeta. Look at the positive side.
Because of everything that happened, we've become this strong. If I had realized it earlier, we wouldn't have been able to master our new transformation." Vegeta replies, "That's true, but you're still an idiot." Goku says, "All right then, let's use it." He presses the button and both of them teleport to the tournament arena. At the tournament, everyone is fighting. Gohan is battling a warrior from Universe 11. Dispo says to himself, "Without that Saiyan Goku, Universe 7 can't win. They're going to die." Toppo adds, "Your luck is bad this time. Our universe will win." Beerus laughs and says, "This time I'm not too worried about my universe losing, because only the inhabitants of the universes will be erased, not the gods of destruction or the angels." Just then, 3 universes, Universe 1, 3, and 12, are erased. In Universe 7, only Gohan remains. The members of the other universes had teamed up to defeat the rest of Universe 7. That was their goal, because when Universe 7 won the first tournament, it was deeply humiliating for the other participants. Gohan is badly injured, and the other universes take advantage of this. Toppo then punches Gohan, knocking him out. Gohan thinks to himself, "This is happening because I stopped training." Piccolo says, "Calm down, Gohan. You did well, and this time there weren't many warriors. Majin Buu replaced Krillin, and Beerus killed Frieza. It feels like all of this was planned from the start." Gohan says, "I should have." Piccolo interrupts and says, "You really did well, Gohan." The Grand Priest says, "Great King, Universe 7 has now been disqualified." Before erasing Universe 7, Zeno hesitates and says, "I don't want to do this to my friend Goku's universe, and this feels unfair. They had 3 fewer warriors than last time." The Grand Priest replies, "Great King, that's not true. If Goku were truly a good friend, he would have left whatever he was doing and come here." Zeno agrees and raises his hand to erase Universe 7. Everyone watches carefully because this is what they were all waiting for. Beerus smiles and Whis does as well. Gohan remembers his wife, his daughter, and his father and thinks, "Father, please forgive me. I couldn't do anything. I relied on your strength."
The tournament raged on. Fighters from all universes clashed in spectacular displays of power. Gohan had been eliminated, and Universe 7 was on the brink of erasure. Then, in a flash of light, Goku and Vegeta appeared before Zeno. The entire arena fell silent. "Impossible!" Quitella shouted. "How did they escape?" Belmod's voice cracked with panic. Vegeta's eyes immediately locked onto Beerus, filled with murderous intent. His fists clenched so hard his knuckles turned white. "Beerus, where are you?" Goku looked around at all the shocked faces. "Vegeta, before we handle our business, I think we should warm up a little." Vegeta's lips curled into a dark smile. "Fine, we'll tear through everyone here first, but remember, Kakarot, Beerus is mine." The 2 Saiyans stepped into the combat arena. Every fighter turned to face them. Dispo of Universe 11 grinned confidently. "You 2 showed up at the last second? Lucky, but your luck ends now." Vegeta's head turned slowly toward Dispo. "What did you call me?" "I'm Dispo, the fastest warrior in all universes. I'll show you." "Light speed mode!" Dispo's body became a blur, moving so fast he seemed to disappear. He appeared behind Vegeta, his leg already swinging toward the Saiyan's head. "You can't even see me!" But Vegeta was gone. Dispo's kick hit nothing but air. "What?" "I'm right here." Vegeta's voice came from directly behind Dispo. Dispo spun around, his eyes wide with shock. Before he could react, Vegeta's foot connected with his stomach.
The kick seemed casual, almost lazy, but the force behind it was devastating. Crack! Dispo's body folded in half around Vegeta's foot. His eyes rolled back as all the air exploded from his lungs. He was sent flying backwards so fast that he created sonic booms in his wake. Dispo flew across the entire arena, past hundreds of shocked fighters, past the stands where the gods sat frozen in disbelief,
and disappeared over the edge, eliminated. The entire arena was silent. Topo's face went pale. Dispo was defeated in one hit? Jiren's eyes narrowed, finally showing interest. Incredible. Vegeta didn't even watch Dispo disappear. He was already looking for his next opponent. Who's next?
Topo stepped forward, his entire body trembling, not with fear, but with righteous anger. How dare you! Dispo was my ally, my friend. He represented justice and hope. Topo's aura exploded outward, golden energy tinged with purple. I'll defeat you in the name of justice. Vegeta crossed his arms, unimpressed. Justice? Don't make me laugh. You gods claim to represent order and justice, but you're nothing but hypocrites and murderers. Topo charged forward with surprising speed for his size. He unleashed a devastating combo. Right straight punch, left hook, spinning back fist, followed by a knee strike. Each attack carried enough force to shatter mountains. But Vegeta dodged each one with minimal movement, his hands still crossed. His body swayed like a leaf in the wind, Topo's fists passing within millimeters of his face. Too slow, Vegeta said calmly. Topo roared in frustration and jumped back. Fine, I'll show you the power I gained from training under a god of destruction. Purple destructive energy began swirling around Topo's body. His muscles bulged, his eyes turned purple with golden pupils. Hakai! Topo thrust both hands forward, unleashing a massive sphere of destruction energy toward Vegeta. The Hakai energy disintegrated everything it touched. The arena floor, the air itself seemed to crumble. The energy engulfed Vegeta completely. Smoke and purple energy obscured everyone's view. Topo grinned triumphantly. You were all talk. No one can withstand my Hakai. Now you'll... That tickles. Topo's smile vanished. What? The smoke cleared, revealing Vegeta standing in the exact same position, completely unharmed. He hadn't even transformed. The Hakai energy swirled around him, but couldn't touch his body.
That's impossible. My Hakai should have erased you.
Topo's voice was filled with disbelief. Vegeta brushed some dust off his shoulder. I told you before, didn't I? None of you can match us anymore. We've gone far beyond the level of gods. To prove his point, Vegeta reached out and grabbed the Hakai energy with his bare hand. He squeezed, and the destructive energy compressed into a small ball, then dissipated harmlessly.
You neutralized Hakai with your bare hands?
Topo stumbled backward. Vegeta's expression turned serious. His blue aura began to radiate outward as he transformed into Super Saiyan Blue. But something was different this time. The blue was deeper, more intense. Lightning crackled around him. Not the usual electric blue, but silver lightning mixed with blue. This is the power we gained from years, millennia of training. Let me show you the gap between us. Vegeta vanished. Topo's eyes darted around frantically.
Where?
A fist buried into Topo's stomach from behind. Topo coughed up blood, his eyes bulging. Before he could recover, Vegeta appeared in front of him and delivered an uppercut that snapped Topo's head back. Then Vegeta began a brutal combo. Each hit was precise, calculated to cause maximum pain without immediately eliminating Topo. Left jab, right cross, elbow to the ribs, knee to the gut, spinning kick to the head. Topo tried to counter, but Vegeta was simply too fast. Every punch Topo threw hit Eider images. Justice? Vegeta growled, punctuating each word with a devastating blow. You talk about justice while conspiring with gods who kill innocents? Beerus murdered my wife.
He killed my friends, and you dare lecture me about justice? With each word, Vegeta's attacks grew more ferocious. His rage was controlled, focused into pure destructive power. Finally, Vegeta grabbed Topo by the face and flew upward, dragging him through the air. At the peak of the arena, Vegeta pulled back his free hand, energy gathering into it. This is for Bulma. This is for everyone you gods have wronged. The beam was enormous, not the usual golden yellow, but deep blue mixed with blinding white light. It was wider than several buildings, and the heat from it alone began melting the arena floor hundreds of meters away. The blast consumed Topo completely. His screams were drowned out by the roar of the energy. When the attack ended, Topo fell like a meteor, crashing into the arena and creating a crater over 100 meters wide. But the final flash didn't stop there. It continued across the arena, its width spreading even further. Fighters from universes 2, 11, 10, 9, and 8 who were in the beam's path didn't even have time to scream. They were engulfed by the energy and eliminated instantly. The beam carved a massive trench through the entire arena before finally dissipating at the far edge. When the light faded, over 50 warriors had been eliminated. Topo lay unconscious in his crater, steam rising from his broken body. Vegeta floated down slowly, not even breathing hard. That was barely a warm-up. The entire arena was in stunned silence. Even Jiren's perpetually calm expression showed a hint of shock. Zeno clapped excitedly. Wow, that was amazing! Over 50 fighters eliminated with one attack. Goku whistled. Vegeta, don't you think you used a little too much power? Vegeta glanced at him. Do you really think so, Kakarot? I was holding back significantly. The other gods of destruction, watching from the stands, felt a chill run down their spines. Beerus's hands were shaking slightly. That power, he's grown far beyond what I imagined. Champa swallowed hard. Brother, did we make a mistake?
The Grand Priest thinks to himself, they can't even complete a simple task. In the end, I'll have to handle everything myself. The first step to killing Xena will be to make him experience fear. Then he'll be vulnerable to any attack. Beerus watches them and thinks, how did they escape that room? There was only one way out, becoming stronger than the combined power of all angels, and that should have been impossible. Champa asks, Beerus, how did they get out? Beerus replies, I don't know. Then he realizes something and says, I see. That's why they appeared in front of Zeno. It was because of the button Zeno himself gave to Goku. Beerus notices that Vegeta hasn't stopped staring at him and thinks, he hasn't stopped staring at me. I think he wants to fight me. Piccolo says, Goku and Vegeta are always late. Gohan replies, I'm just happy that Father and Mr. Vegeta managed to get out of that room. Piccolo nods and says, that's true, but I can sense something. He smiles and continues, I think this is about to get a lot more interesting. These gods made their biggest mistake by underestimating Goku and Vegeta. The Grand Priest realizes the true extent of the Saiyans' power. Vegeta says, Kakarot, I've warmed up enough. Let's start the real fight, the one we've been preparing for. Jiren approaches Goku and Vegeta. Goku says, don't be so eager, Jiren. Let Vegeta warm up a bit more. Jiren replies, your friend has greatly increased his power. I hope you haven't fallen behind. The Grand Priest tells Zeno that all the defeated universes must now be erased. At that moment, Goku says, Little Zen, please don't erase any more universes. Can you do that for me? Beerus angrily shouts, You insignificant mortal! Who do you think you are to question the king of everything? Vegeta says, Beerus, all the gods have made a huge mistake. Champa asks, What mistake?
Goku looks at Beerus and says, "First, they betrayed us." Vegeta adds, "Second, you killed Bulma and our friends." Goku continues, "Third, you locked us inside the time chamber, and because of that mistake, you'll regret this even more. You trapped us in a room where time passed even faster than on Earth. That gave us more time to become stronger, and not only that, now we have power great enough to defeat even the angels who supported you." Goku glances at Whis. Jiren comments, "So this has nothing to do with the Tournament of Power anymore. I see. This is personal." With that, Jiren walks away. Goku shouts, "Little Zen, I have a great idea and it'll be really fun." Zeno asks excitedly, "Really? What is it?" Goku says, "What if we fight all the gods of destruction? That would be way more fun, since gods are really strong." Zeno replies, "That sounds like a great idea, but do you really want to fight all the gods alone? That's a huge disadvantage." Goku says, "Maybe, but I'm really excited." Zeno announces, "All right then, gods of destruction, you will fight Universe 7's Goku and Vegeta."
Hearing this, all the gods become furious. The tournament arena trembles as their combined killing intent floods the space. Quitella's eyes narrow to slits, his rodent-like features twisting into a mask of pure rage. "I can't take this anymore." Quitella's voice echoes across the void. "We must eliminate them now." Before anyone can react, Quitella vanishes. Not through teleportation, but through pure, incomprehensible speed that even the angels struggle to track. Vegeta versus Quitella, the opening strike. Vegeta's eyes widen for a fraction of a second, then crack! The Prince of Saiyans catches Quitella's fist millimeters from his face. The shockwave alone shatters 3 nearby floating platforms and sends lesser fighters tumbling backward. "Fast," Vegeta acknowledges, his voice cold, "for an insect." Quitella grins wickedly. "You haven't seen anything yet, Saiyan." The god of destruction splits into 12 afterimages, each one attacking from a different angle. His technique, Destruction's Deceit, has fooled countless opponents. Each afterimage carries enough power to obliterate a planet. But Vegeta doesn't move. The attacks converge. The explosion lights up the entire arena. Smoke billows outward. Quitella lands, breathing heavily. "Overconfident fool, you should have..."
"Dodge!" Vegeta's voice cuts through the smoke. As it clears, he stands completely unarmed, not even his hair disturbed. "Why would I dodge illusions?" Quitella's confidence cracks. "Impossible! How did you—" "Your key signature," Vegeta interrupts, raising one finger. "All 12 copies share the same source. Sloppy technique for a god." In a movement too fast for most eyes to follow, Vegeta appears behind Quitella. But the god of Universe 4 isn't finished. He whirls around, unleashing a point-blank Hakai sphere. Vegeta catches it with his bare hand. "What?" Quitella's voice rises to a shriek. "This..." Vegeta examines the destructive energy casually, as if holding a child's toy. "We trained in Hakai energy for 300,000 years. This is nothing." He crushes the sphere. It dissipates into harmless sparks. Quitella's face contorts in desperation. He gathers every ounce of his divine power, his body glowing with purple-black energy. "Then try this, God's deletion technique." The attack is unlike anything Quitella has used before, a concentrated beam of pure erasure that warps space itself. Even Beerus looks impressed. Vegeta raises his leg. One kick. The beam splits in half,
dividing around Vegeta harmlessly before dissipating into the void. The follow-through catches Quitella in the ribs. Time seems to slow. Quitella's eyes bulge, blood sprays from his mouth, his divine aura flickers and dies like a candle in a hurricane. Then he's gone, sent flying so fast he becomes a streak of light, crashing through 7 floating platforms before disappearing from the arena entirely. Silence. All the gods fall silent in shock. Even Zeno's mouth hangs open. Champa's jaw works soundlessly before he manages. He defeated Quitella with 1 kick? Just 1? How could he do this? Vegeta lowers his leg slowly, his eyes locked on Beerus. When he speaks, his voice could freeze stars. Beerus, come fight me now, or do you want to be beaten the same way?
Beerus's hands tremble, not with fear, but with the effort of containing his rage, and yes, a sliver of genuine concern. The power radiating from Vegeta is unlike anything he's encountered. Whis glides forward, his perpetual smile strained. Lord Beerus, given the situation, I recommend using this. He produces 2 Potara earrings, their golden surface gleaming with an otherworldly light. Beerus's eyes widen in understanding, then a slow, dangerous smile spreads across his face. He touches his forehead, sending out a telepathic pulse that reaches all the other gods simultaneously. Listen carefully. His mental voice is calm, calculated. We can't defeat them in one-on-one battles, and if we fail individually, the king will erase us for our incompetence.
The other gods receive the message, their expressions shifting from shock to grim determination. Remember, our real goal is to eliminate Zeno-sama. These Saiyans have given us the perfect excuse, so we'll combine all our powers and create a single being. Join me, I'll handle everything. Belmod's telepathic response crackles with anticipation. If the gods unite, they won't be able to separate us. The fusion will be permanent, a new order. Champa adds, his usual laziness replaced by cold purpose. We have to do this. We must show these mortals the true devastation of the gods of destruction. Beerus steps forward into the combat arena, rolling his shoulders. Fine, I'll fight you, Vegeta. Vegeta's smile is feral as the gods begin surrounding him. About time. Beerus spreads his arms. All right, show me how strong you've become. Show me if all those years were worth it. Vegeta's aura explodes outward, blue energy crackling like lightning. You killed Bulma, he says, each word heavy with barely contained fury, and you will pay for it with your life. Beerus's smile doesn't waver. Fine, you can try. Vegeta vanishes. Beerus barely has time to raise his guard before Vegeta's fist connects with his face. The god of destruction is sent hurtling backward, crashing through the energy barrier. The impact creates a miniature supernova of destruction energy. I will never forgive you. Vegeta's roar echoes across dimensions. On the sidelines, Goku's expression shifts from confidence to concern. Vegeta, be careful. This feels like some kind of plan. Vegeta pauses, noticing the smiles spreading across the other gods' faces. That's not the expression of deities watching their leader lose. That's the expression of predators watching prey walk into a trap. Champa chuckles darkly. It looks like they've become much stronger. Even my brother can't match him now. His smile widens, but sadly, good luck doesn't last forever. In perfect synchronization, all 12 gods of destruction reach up and remove their earrings. Piccolo's eyes widen in horror. No, they can't be.
Goku! Vegeta! He shouts. Be careful, they're going to merge.
Goku's concerned expression melts into an excited grin. I know, Piccolo.
Don't worry, this is exactly what we expected. Vegeta smirks. Took them long enough to figure it out? Beerus rises from the crater, dusting off his shoulders. They should have stayed in that room, but no. They had to come out and put on a show. His voice drops to a deadly whisper. Now they must die. The 12 gods arrange themselves in a perfect circle around the arena. Each one places a Potara earring in their left ear, all except Beerus, who places his in the right. The air itself begins to scream. Reality warps as 12 divine auras merge into one. The light is blinding. Purple, red, gold, green, all the colors of destruction swirling together. The very fabric of existence strains under the pressure. Zeno leans forward in his throne, eyes wide with childlike fascination. The fusion of all the destroyer gods. This is really interesting. Gohan shields his eyes from the radiance. What kind of power is this? The light intensifies, becoming almost unbearable. Then, with a thunderclap that shakes the world of void, it condenses. Where 12 gods stood, now there is one. He towers over the arena, nearly 3 meters tall. His body is covered in a shifting, crystalline armor that seems to be made of condensed destruction energy itself. 4 arms extend from his torso, each crackling with different colored Hakai energy. His face is an amalgamation. Beerus's features dominate, but aspects of the other gods flicker across it like a living mask. 12 eyes open across his form, each one burning with the power of a different universe. When he speaks, it's with 12 voices in perfect harmony. I am Birumad, the Omega Destroyer. I am vengeance. I am inevitability. I am the end of mortal arrogance. The pressure of his mere existence forces everyone except Goku and Vegeta to their knees. Goku whistles appreciatively. Vegeta, you sure you don't want my help with this one?
Vegeta cracks his knuckles. I can fight him alone. I don't need your help. He glances at Goku. You handle the master of those gods. Goku's grin widens. Whis? Yeah, I've been wanting a rematch with him anyway. Birunad moves. 4 fists crash into Vegeta simultaneously from 4 different angles. The Saiyan Prince barely gets his guard up before the impact sends him hurtling across the arena. He crashes through 3 platforms, each collision erupting in explosions of ki. When Vegeta finally stops, he's reverted to his base form. Blood trickles from the corner of his mouth. Birumad appears above him, all 4 arms crossed. Now you can't defeat me. Even your luck won't help you anymore. You're just a mortal who got a few extra years to play at godhood. Vegeta's shoulders shake. Birumad prepares to deliver the finishing blow. Any last words before I erase your... Vegeta's laughter stops him cold. My luck. Vegeta wipes the blood from his mouth, still laughing. Don't make me laugh. Don't think this was all my power. He stands, and the air around him begins to change. I'll show you power you can never achieve, no matter how hard you try, no matter how many of you merge together. His aura begins to manifest, but it's different from before. Silver and blue intertwine, creating patterns of energy that seem to move with independent intelligence. You want to know what we did for those millions of years? Vegeta's voice is calm now, terrifyingly calm. We didn't just get stronger. We evolved beyond the limitations of mortal and god alike. The transformation begins. Vegeta's hair starts to shift, strands lifting as if in an invisible wind. His eyes close, and when they open again, they're silver. Not the complete silver of Goku's Ultra Instinct,
but silver with blue lightning crackling through them. His muscles tighten and refine, becoming denser, more efficient. The ground beneath his feet doesn't crack or shatter, it simply ceases to exist, erased by the purity of his energy. A silver aura erupts around him, but unlike Goku's calm, flowing Ultra Instinct, Vegeta's is aggressive, sharp-edged, like living blades of pure intent. Ultra Instinct! The announcement isn't from Vegeta, it's from the universe itself, reality acknowledging his transformation. Biramad stumbles backward, his 12 eyes wide. What is this pressure? How did you achieve this transformation? Ultra Instinct requires a calm heart, an empty mind, everything you're not. Vegeta's smile is predatory. I told you, your biggest mistake was underestimating us Saiyans. You think there's only one path to Ultra Instinct. He clenches his fist, and the silver-blue energy intensifies. Goku found the path of serenity. I found the path of absolute will. I don't empty my mind. I focus it beyond mortal limitation. I don't calm my heart. I make it burn with such perfect clarity that nothing can disturb it. From the sidelines, Kaba's eyes fill with tears of joy. My master, he's become even stronger. Jiren stands rigid, his usual stoic expression cracked by genuine shock. That power, it's similar to Goku's Ultra Instinct, but fundamentally different. He's forcing his body to move at peak efficiency through sheer will rather than instinct. Toppo shakes his head slowly. Impossible. Everything we knew about that transformation. High above, Whis watches with a mixture of pride and concern. He glances at his father, the Grand Priest. What is this? Whis asks. The Grand Priest's smile has vanished entirely. This is not merely Ultra Instinct, it is something more complex. His eyes narrow dangerously. Their power has increased beyond that technique. Vegeta's blue form alone could easily defeat a god of destruction, and with this new transformation, his power has increased even further. Zeno claps his hands excitedly. Vegeta is amazing! I can sense that his power is even greater than yours, Grand Priest.
The Grand Priest's hands clench into fists. Beneath his serene mask, rage boils. Where did these monkeys get so much power from? This wasn't supposed to be possible. I must act quickly. In the arena, Vegeta tilts his head, and in that instant, he's gone. Biramad raises all 4 arms to block, but Vegeta appears behind him. A kick to the spine sends the fused god stumbling forward. Before Biramad can recover, Vegeta is in front of him, a punch to the jaw. Then above, an elbow to the crown of the head. Then below, a sweeping kick to the legs. Each strike comes from a perfect angle at the perfect time. Biramad, with all his divine power, can't land a single counter. Impossible! All 12 voices scream in frustration. How can you be this fast? Vegeta appears motionless in the center of the arena, though his afterimages continue pummeling Biramad from every direction. Fast? I'm not moving faster than you. A smile crosses his face. I'm moving more efficiently. He raises one hand, and a massive sphere of silver-blue energy forms above it. Let me show you something we developed. We called it Final Instinct. The sphere compresses, becoming denser and denser until it's no larger than a marble. The energy it contains is enough to atomize a galaxy. I'll finish this quickly. He throws it. Biramad unleashes all 4 arms worth of Hakai energy to intercept. The collision creates a dome of annihilation that expands outward, consuming everything in its path. When it clears, both fighters are still standing, but Biramad is breathing heavily, cracks appearing in his crystalline armor. You're actually pushing me back.
The 12 voices are no longer in perfect harmony. They're fragmenting, arguing with each other internally. No, we can't lose, not to a mortal. Vegeta prepares his next attack, and then the angels move. Suddenly, Whis and all the other angels appear in a circle around Vegeta, their staffs raised in perfect synchronization. "I'm afraid I can't allow this to continue," Whis says, his voice still pleasant, but his eyes cold. "You've forced our hand, Vegeta." The angels begin to glow. Unlike the chaotic, violent fusion of the gods, the angels' merger is beautiful, elegant, horrifying in its perfection. They don't use Potara earrings. Instead, their staffs connect at the tips, forming a perfect 12-pointed star. Pure white light flows through the connections, and their bodies begin to dissolve into streams of radiant energy. The streams intertwine, dancing through the air in patterns that seem to contain all mathematical constants, all physical laws, all possibility and impossibility. Goku's expression turns serious. "Vegeta, get back!" But Vegeta can't move. The angels' fusion is creating a time-space lock, freezing everything within 100 meters. The streams converge into a single point of infinite brightness. Then, like a flower blooming in reverse, the light condenses inward. What emerges makes even Ultra Instinct Vegeta take a step back. The fused angel is smaller than Bir-Ahmad, barely taller than an average human, but the presence, the sheer weight of existence it carries is overwhelming. Its form is androgynous, perfect, clothed in robes that seem to be woven from the fabric of reality itself. 12 wings extend from its back, each one inscribed with glowing symbols in the language of the gods. Its eyes are like looking into the cosmic void, vast, deep, containing all knowledge. When it speaks, the voice is harmonious yet alien, beautiful yet utterly inhuman. "I am Seraphel, the convergence of divine attendants. We are the instruments of cosmic law. And you, Vegeta, son of Vegeta, prince of all Saiyans, you have violated that law by daring to stand above the gods you were meant to serve." The pressure increases tenfold. Platforms crack. Lesser fighters lose consciousness just from being in Seraphel's presence. Seraphel raises one delicate hand. "The real battle has just begun. Your power has increased far beyond even the blue transformation, enough to face a god of destruction. But now you've surpassed even that." 12 pairs of spectral wings manifest around Seraphel, each one representing an angel's individual power. But we are not mere gods. We are the architects, the observers, the absolute. Bir-Ahmad rises to his full height beside Seraphel, his wounds healing instantly. Together they radiate enough power to make the world of void itself tremble. 2 against 1, Bir-Ahmad's 12 voices echo. "Let's see how long you last." This means the true fight has begun. Fusion of the destroyer gods and fusion of the angels versus Goku and Vegeta. Goku steps forward, cracking his neck casually. "You're right, the real battle is about to begin." His transformation is instant. No build-up, no dramatic tension. One moment he's in base form, the next his hair is silver, his eyes are mercury, and his aura is a perfect, calm sphere of pure energy. "Perfect Ultra Instinct," he announces simply. Then, with a grin that doesn't match the gravity of the situation, "Vegeta, I'll handle Seraphel. You handle Bir-Ahmad."
Vegeta scoffs, but there's a hint of relief in his voice. Finally decided to take this seriously, Kakarot? Well, you looked like you were having fun, but I can't let you have all of it. Seraphel's countless eyes focus on Goku. So, the other monkey reveals his true power. Interesting. You achieved perfect Ultra Instinct, a state that took the gods of destruction millions of years to approach, and even then, none succeeded. Yet you claim to have mastered it in mere mortal years. Goku's smile widens. Actually, it was more like millions of years for us, too. Perks of training in places where time moves differently. Irrelevant. Time is meaningless before eternal law. We shall... Goku appears in front of Seraphel, his fist stopped a millimeter from the angel's face.
Everyone watching gasps. The angel fusion hadn't moved, hadn't even attempted to dodge. Yet Goku's fist stopped on its own, as if hitting an invisible wall. "Did you truly think..." Seraphel begins. "Nope," Goku interrupts. "Just testing something." He vanishes again. This time he appears behind Seraphel, delivering a kick that the angel blocks with a single raised finger. The shockwave from that blocked kick erases 3 floating platforms. Goku backflips away, his expression thoughtful. "Interesting. You didn't dodge. You manipulated the probability of my attack connecting. That's not just speed or power. That's reality manipulation." Seraphel's expression shifts to something like respect. Perceptive. Yes, we angels exist partially outside conventional cause and effect. Every action we take, we have already taken. Every defense we employ, we have already employed. Fighting us is fighting inevitability itself. "Cool," Goku says simply. "That just makes it more exciting." The massive battle erupts across the entire world of Void. On one side, Vegeta, his Ultra Instinct blazing like a silver-blue star, exchanges blows with Biramod. Each punch creates shockwaves that ripple across dimensions. Biramod's 4 arms move in perfect coordination, each one wielding different destruction techniques from different universes. Destruction God's Eclipse. 4 different Hawkeye techniques merge into a black hole of erasure. Vegeta doesn't dodge. He flies straight into it, his aura carving through the destruction energy like a blade through smoke. Emerging from the other side, he delivers an uppercut that lifts all 3 meters and untold tons of Biramod's fused form off the ground. On the other side, Goku and Seraphel move so fast that they're invisible even to the gods of destruction. Their battle exists in the spaces between moments, in the gaps between reality. Angel's theorem, probability lock, Seraphel declares, and suddenly Goku finds himself unable to move forward. Every path he tries to take leads him back to his starting position.
Goku closes his eyes, centering himself in the perfection of Ultra Instinct. If probability says I can't reach you, he opens his eyes, then I'll move through impossibility instead. He takes a step that shouldn't exist, moving neither forward, backward, left, right, up, nor down, yet somehow appearing beside Seraphel. Fascinating, the angel admits, blocking Goku's strike. You've begun to transcend dimensional limitations. Whis was a good teacher, Goku grins, even if he didn't mean to teach me this part. The battles rage on, escalating beyond mortal comprehension. Vegeta and Biramod's clash create new laws of physics with each exchange. Goku and Seraphel's fight begins to unweave the fabric of the world of Void itself. From the stands, Jiren watches with clenched fists. This
This is the level beyond Ultra Instinct, beyond even the gods? Toppo shakes his head slowly. We were children playing at war. This is what true power looks like. Piccolo's eyes narrow with concern. Goku, Vegeta, you've come so far, but even with all this power, he glances at the Grand Priest. I don't think this is over yet. The battle seems evenly matched. Vegeta and Biramad are locked in a stalemate of perfect offense versus combined divine defense. Goku and Seraphel dance through dimensions, neither able to gain decisive advantage. Then, Jiren, Toppo, Piccolo, and all the other participants sense something that makes their blood run cold. Not from the battle, from above, from Zeno's throne. The Grand Priest moves with such casual ease that no one notices until it's too late. In one smooth motion, he appears beside Zeno's guardians, and his hand passes through them like a scythe through wheat.
The guardians don't even have time to scream. They simply cease to exist, erased so completely that not even the memory of them remains to those who didn't see it happen. Zeno's eyes go wide. What? What do you want? Why did you do this? The Grand Priest's benevolent mask finally, completely drops. His smile becomes something terrible, something ancient, something that has been waiting for eons behind a facade of servitude. Because this was planned from the start, he says, his voice no longer gentle. It's cold, calculating, the voice of someone who has waited far too long for this moment. The gods and angels are tired of following your orders. Even I am ashamed of obeying a child like you. He takes a step closer to Zeno, who shrinks back in his throne. Now I will become the king of everything. I deserve it more than you. I who have served since before creation. I who have maintained the cosmic order while you played your games. I who have the wisdom, the power, the will to truly rule all that exists. Zeno's form begins to tremble, not with power, but with something he's never felt before. Fear. I love the fear on your face, the Grand Priest says softly, leaning down to look Zeno in the eye. No matter how powerful you are, you're still just a child. Making you feel fear is my goal, something you've never felt before. And do you know what fear does, little king? He places a finger on Zeno's forehead. The Omni King flinches. It weakens you. Fear is the mind killer, the great equalizer. Even gods can be paralyzed by it. And you who have never known defeat, never known danger, never known anything but absolute power. The Grand Priest's eyes gleam with malicious triumph. You don't know how to handle it. From the battle, Goku senses what's happening. His head snaps toward Zeno's throne. No, little Zen! But he's too far away, and Seraphel blocks his path. Your concern is misplaced, son Goku. You should worry about yourself. The Grand Priest raises his hand, and it begins to glow with energy unlike any seen before. Not destruction, not creation, something in between, something that unmakes. Any last words, false king?
Zeno opens his mouth, but only a whimper comes out. The Grand Priest's hand descends. What follows cannot be fully described in mortal terms. The Grand Priest's strike doesn't just kill Zeno, it unravels him. Each layer of infinite power is peeled away, stripped down, absorbed into the Grand Priest's being. Zeno's scream is soundless, a psychic wail that echoes across all 12 universes simultaneously. Every living being feels it,
a fundamental wrongness, like watching the sun fall from the sky. Then, before future Zeno can even react, the Grand Priest moves again. Future Zeno tries to erase him, but the fear has already taken root. His hand shakes, his power wavers. It's enough. The Grand Priest consumes him just as completely as the first. "Little Zen!" Goku's scream is raw, anguished. For all his power, he couldn't stop this, couldn't save his friend. The Grand Priest straightens, and the change is immediate. His body begins to glow with a light that contains all colors and no color simultaneously. The energy of two Omni-Kings, two beings who held absolute authority over all existence, flows into him. He throws back his head and laughs. Not the gentle chuckle he's worn like a mask for eons. This is the laugh of someone who has won a game that began before time itself. Triumphant, unhinged, free. Goku is shocked into stillness, his perfect ultra instinct wavering. The fusion of Beerus and the fusion of Seraphel both smile, but their smiles are strained, nervous. They've just witnessed the death of absolute authority, and they're not sure what comes next. Biramod's 12 voices speak in uneasy unison. At last, we are free. But there's a question beneath the words. Are we?
Vegeta's eyes narrow. What's going on? Biramod explains, backing away slightly from the transforming Grand Priest. Whoever kills Zeno gains all of his powers. That's why Zeno was always protected by his bodyguards, and now the new king of everything is obtaining his new transformation. Seraphel adds, its voice carrying a note of something like awe. That's right, my father. He is now the new king of everything, and no one can defeat him, not even you. But even as the words are spoken, both fusions begin to drift toward the Grand Priest, drawn like moths to a flame. The Grand Priest's transformation begins. His form starts to expand, then contract, then expand again, as if reality can't decide what shape should contain this much power. Cracks appear in the world of void itself, spiderwebbing outward from where he stands. His robes disintegrate, replaced by armor that seems to be forged from the fundamental forces of the universe. Gravity, electromagnetism, the strong and weak nuclear forces, all woven together into an impossibly complex lattice of glowing energy. His hair grows longer, turning from white to a color that hurts to look at, a shade that exists outside the normal spectrum, visible only because the mind has no other way to process it. 12 halos manifest around him, each one representing a universe. They spin in perfect geometric patterns, creating harmonics that could shatter souls. Wings unfold from his back, not angel wings, but something greater. They're made of pure cosmic law, each feather a theorem, each curve a fundamental truth. When his eyes open, they contain galaxies, universes, the entire multiverse reflected in miniature. At last, his voice booms across all reality. All this power is mine. The pressure is incomprehensible. Every fighter still conscious in the arena collapses except for Goku and Vegeta, and even they struggle to remain standing. Goku and Vegeta sense his power and realize he has become even stronger than before, stronger than anything they've encountered, stronger, perhaps, than anything that should exist.
The Grand Priest? No. He needs a new title now. The Omega Priest? The True King? He seems to decide for himself. I am Deus ex Omnia, God from all, the Alpha and Omega, the the beginning and the end. I am what remains when everything else is stripped away. He looks down at his hands, flexing fingers that could now crush universes. A smile of pure satisfaction crosses his face. At last, all this power is mine. Vegeta, despite everything, feels his fighting spirit ignite. This is getting difficult, but defeating him will be fun. Goku's expression is grim, but he nods. He absorbed both Xenos. That's why his power is far greater than ours now. He pauses. But we've faced worse odds before. Have we? Vegeta asks, genuinely curious. No, but there's a first time for everything. Deus Ex Omnia spreads his arms, and Biramud and Seraphel begin floating toward him involuntarily. Gods, angels, merge with me so we can create a being with limitless power, so we can become what should have been from the beginning, a single, perfect will, a unified cosmic consciousness, the true and final form of divinity. Goku's eyes widen as he realizes what's about to happen. Vegeta, we can't let that happen. If all three fuse, we might not be able to stop him. First, we must eliminate the fused forms of gods and angels before they merge with him. Vegeta nods sharply. You're right. Let's finish them quickly, Kakarot. Both Saiyans power up to their absolute maximum. Silver and silver-blue energy erupts around them, so intense that it begins to push back against Deus Ex Omnia's pull. Now, Goku shouts. They move as one.
Goku attacks Seraphim, while Vegeta goes head-to-head with Biramud. Every punch they trade sends shockwaves through all the universes. All the participants in the tournament can't believe what they're witnessing. Something like this shouldn't even be possible. Jiren says, Goku's Ultra Instinct has increased tenfold since the last time he fought me. How is that possible? How can someone become this powerful in such a short time? It usually takes years to gain power like this. Suddenly, Vegeta lands a devastating punch on Biramud, injuring him. Goku and Seraphim continue fighting. Vegeta shouts, Biramud, did you hear that? What goes around comes around. You hit Bulma, and now you're going to die. Biramud asks in disbelief, how can you be this strong? Vegeta replies, through training. You modified that room so that Kakarot and I couldn't escape. We realized the only way out was to surpass its power and eliminate all the gods. Vegeta gathers energy. Now you will die. He fires a massive blast at Biramud. At that moment, the Grand Priest appears and effortlessly deflects the blast. He kicks Vegeta, badly injuring him. Biramud says nervously, Grand Priest. The Grand Priest snaps angrily, do not call me by that name again. I am now the new king of everything. Biramud is terrified. Vegeta! Goku shouts, instantly teleporting to him and striking Seraphim away. Are you okay, Vegeta? Vegeta answers, yes, I'm fine. I have to admit, you used your brain well. Then Goku asks, what are you people trying to do? Why did you kill Xeno? Answer me! The Grand Priest responds, a massive war is about to begin, one that will destroy all multiverses. Vegeta asks, what do you mean by multiverses? The Grand Priest says, you Saiyans could become obstacles in our path. That's why you must die as well. Goku protests, how are we an obstacle? We've never done anything wrong to you. The Grand Priest replies, not yet, but you will. That's why you must die here and now. Vegeta yells, why did you kill them? For their powers? Seraphim says calmly, that is none of your concern. The Grand Priest laughs. As I said, I am the true rightful owner of those powers. Zeno was just a child who received power far beyond him. He could erase any universe or existence whenever he wanted, but he couldn't erase beings stronger than himself, such as entities from other universes. Now that I possess his powers, I can. He raises his hand, and several fighters in the combat arena suddenly disappear. Goku senses it. What just happened? The Grand Priest replies, I sent them all to hell. I can do that too. Then, using Zeno's powers, he erases universes 1, 2, 3, and 4. I have just erased 4 universes. There is no limit to my power. In his mind, he thinks, I don't understand. Why did the dragon say that these Saiyans would become the direct enemies of all the deities? It was because of that dragon that I learned I could gain Zeno's power by killing him, and it was true.
Flashback. The Grand Priest had gathered Super Dragon Balls. He wanted to obtain Zeno's position. After summoning the dragon, he asked, Tell me Zeno's weakness. The dragon replied, Zeno is extremely powerful, but he is still a child. If you make him feel negative emotions, such as fear, he will become weak for a short time. The Grand Priest smiles. So, there is a way to defeat him. That means I can control all universes. The dragon then asks, Do you know what will happen after you kill Zeno? I don't know, and I don't care, the Grand Priest says. I just want to become the king of everything. The dragon warns him, You will gain his powers, but the balance of the universes will collapse. A war will begin. If one multiverse king dies, the kings of other multiverses will try to obtain his power. I don't care, the Grand Priest replies. I'll defeat them all. The dragon says angrily, You are a traitor. After knowing your intentions, do you think I'll let you go? I never should have told you any of this. I never imagined someone who served the king of everything for so many years would do something like this. The Grand Priest responds, You won't let me go. Do you think you can defeat me? I don't have the power to defeat you, the dragon says, but suddenly his eyes begin to glow. What did you do? The Grand Priest asks. The dragon replies, Listen carefully. There are 2 warriors, 2 Saiyans who will stop you and protect the multiverses. One of them you already know very well. Enraged, the Grand Priest kills the dragon with his power. Before dying, the dragon says, We will meet again soon. At the same time, Gohan is training with Piccolo for the Tournament of Power. Suddenly, Piccolo collapses to the ground. Gohan asks, What happened? Piccolo replies, Nothing. I just felt something strange. It's fine. Let's continue training. Back in the present, Goku says firmly, Now, stop this destruction. The Grand Priest says, Don't try to give me orders, filthy Saiyan. Your son, he's from this universe, isn't he? Goku asks angrily, What are you planning to do to him? The Grand Priest replies coldly, Say goodbye to him. Just as the Grand Priest tries to erase Gohan, Goku and Vegeta punch him at the same time. Goku declares, We won't let you destroy anything. The Grand Priest says, I didn't want to end this so quickly, but now I must kill you. Using Zeno's power, he tries to erase Goku and Vegeta, but nothing happens. The Grand Priest is shocked. What is this? Why weren't they erased? Vegeta smirks and says, I understand you've become extremely powerful. When Seraphim told us you were his father, I never imagined I'd be able to rival your power. But I said this before, and I'll say it again. Never underestimate Saiyans.
Goku adds, I never thought someone like you could stoop so low, but now you've forced us to use this. Piccolo asks, What do you mean? Don't tell me this still wasn't even 50% of your power. Gohan says in awe, So Dad and Vegeta haven't shown their true power yet? That's incredible. I never imagined they could become even stronger. Goku turns to Vegeta. Vegeta, we've trained a lot to use this transformation. Vegeta replies seriously,
I know, Kakarot. We can't lose control. Goku smiles and says to the Grand Priest, we will defeat you. Goku and Vegeta begin powering up and reach a new transformation. They transform, and their power far exceeds what anyone imagined. But suddenly, Goku and Vegeta begin acting strangely. Their personalities seem completely changed. They start behaving like wild beasts. Seraphim, the Grand Priest, and everyone else are stunned. Goku and Vegeta instantly attack the Grand Priest. Goku punches him, sending him flying. Vegeta prepares a massive blast and fires it, causing a huge explosion. Seeing this, Beramod is terrified. Seraphim is completely shocked. I can't believe it, Seraphim says, that Goku and Vegeta could obtain such power. Piccolo can't believe his eyes. Gohan asks, is this real? Is this power truly Dad's and Vegeta's? Even Jiren watches in disbelief. The Grand Priest is badly hurt now. Vegeta lands more punches on him, forcing him back into a normal state. Seraphim panics. Beramod begins trembling with fear, thinking, I made a huge mistake betraying the Saiyans. Injured but standing, the Grand Priest shouts, everyone watching, stand with me. Using his earring, Beramod tries to fuse with the Grand Priest, but Goku and Vegeta attack again. Beramod pleads, Vegeta, why don't we talk about this? I never wanted to kill Bulma. I was just following orders. Vegeta gives no reply. He fires a powerful energy blast, reducing Beramod completely to ashes. Seraphim cries out in fear, Goku, I was only following the orders of the gods of destruction. Goku grabs Seraphim and annihilates him with a powerful Kamehameha, turning him to ashes as well. The Grand Priest stares in shock. Who are they? These cannot be the Goku and Vegeta of this universe. Without hesitation, Goku and Vegeta begin attacking him mercilessly. But suddenly, someone appears in front of them and blocks their attacks. A massive, muscular being stands there, saving the Grand Priest. The being laughs and says, You're pathetic, Grand Priest, but do you have what we need? The Grand Priest asks angrily, What are you doing here? The being replies calmly, I was watching you. You should actually be grateful to me. The Grand Priest loses his temper and orders him, Kill those Saiyans. I don't want any more obstacles. The being's expression darkens. What did you just say? Do you really think you can give me orders? He grabs the Grand Priest by the throat and lifts him into the air. Listen carefully. A worthless failure like you, who lost to a bunch of monkeys, doesn't get to tell me what to do. Understood? The Grand Priest can't respond. His throat is being crushed. Then he pauses. What's this? He's already unconscious, but I still need him. Turning towards Goku and Vegeta, he introduces himself. My name is Boria. I am the king of everything from another multiverse. We will meet again very soon. With that, Boria disappears, taking the Grand Priest with him.
Goku and Vegeta return to normal. Both are completely exhausted and collapse to the ground. Not a single warrior dares to move. Everyone is frozen in fear after witnessing what just happened. Goku and Vegeta had used their most powerful transformation, and the toll was immense. Piccolo and Gohan rush to them as everyone watches. Piccolo asks urgently, Goku, what happened? What was all that? Gohan asks worriedly, Dad, are you okay? And Mr. Vegeta, how are you? Goku replies, Yeah, I'm fine. Vegeta adds, We trained a long time for that transformation, but we could only stay in it for a few minutes. Goku nods. Yeah, it's an extremely exhausting form, but compared to when we first unlocked it, we did really well. Piccolo asks seriously, Start from the beginning. What exactly happened inside the time chamber? Goku answers, We were in there for a very long time. Vegeta corrects him. To be precise, we were in there for more than millions of years. Piccolo and Gohan are stunned. That's impossible, Piccolo says. You should have died long ago.
Goku explains, that would have happened, but we're alive because of Mr. Popo. Gohan asks, what do you mean? Goku replies, Mr. Popo asked the dragon to grant us immortality. Vegeta continues, and because of that, we survived all those years. We used that time to train and became stronger. Gohan nods. Okay, now I understand. Goku sighs. Yeah, a lot has happened in a very short time. He begins explaining everything to Gohan and Piccolo in more detail. Vegeta says quietly, we destroyed Beerus and all the gods. Piccolo says in disbelief, no one could have imagined that Zeno's right-hand man would do something like this. Goku agrees, you're right, no one could have imagined it. Then Goku adds, but when we were about to defeat the Grand Priest, another warrior saved him. He stopped our blows like it was nothing. Vegeta nods, that's true. He talked about the Multiverse and said he was a king. He was incredibly powerful. Goku thoughtfully says, the Grand Priest mentioned that there are beings even stronger than Zeno. I think Boria is one of them. He said we'd meet again, but what did he mean by that? Vegeta answers calmly, it's simple, we have to be ready. Hearing this, Goku smiles, then we'll just have to become even stronger. Suddenly, Piccolo feels something strange. Fragments of the dragon's memories flood his mind.
Piccolo! Gohan shouts as Piccolo collapses to the ground. Piccolo, are you okay? Goku asks urgently. Slowly, Piccolo stands back up. Goku, Gohan, and Vegeta suddenly feel an enormous power coming from Piccolo. Gohan hears a voice speaking through Piccolo. I witnessed everything that happened here. I am the dragon of the Super Dragon Balls. Everyone is shocked. Vegeta asks sharply, how did you enter his body, and how are you speaking to us? I thought you could only understand the language of the gods. The dragon replies, I can communicate with any living existence. However, my duty is to fulfill only the desires of the great deities of this multiverse. Vegeta asks again, then how did you end up inside Piccolo's body? The dragon explains, the Grand Priest came to me seeking information about Zeno. I never imagined his intentions. He killed me, but before dying, I teleported my soul into this Namekian. Vegeta scoffs. So you picked a random body just to save yourself? The dragon responds calmly, not a random body. This Namekian possesses great hidden power. That's why it took me time to take control. I tried to save Zeno, but controlling Piccolo's body was not easy. Vegeta raises an eyebrow. So you're telling me this worm has such immense hidden power that even the dragon of the Super Dragon Balls struggled to control him? Yes, the dragon replies. If I used my full power in my original body, it would have exploded. For some reason, this Namekian is compatible with me. Vegeta nods. Fine, then explain everything. What exactly is going on? The dragon begins. There are 4 multiverses. We are currently in Multiverse 1. Each multiverse has its own king of everything. Multiverse 1 was ruled by Zeno. Multiverse 2 is ruled by King Archon. Multiverse 3 was ruled by a queen, now by her daughter, Princess Neon. Multiverse 4 is ruled by Boria. Gohan swallows nervously. That sounds terrifying. Goku grins. I think it sounds interesting. So, who's the strongest king among them? The dragon answers, all are powerful, but the kings of Multiverse 2 and 4 are truly frightening. They are combat masters. Defeating them is nearly impossible. Their destructive abilities are overwhelming. Honestly, Zeno was the weakest. He never focused on combat. Vegeta says grimly, the Grand Priest killed Zeno and stole his power, and now King Boria has taken him. This is going to be bad. The dragon confirms, yes,
King Boria intends to start a multiversal war. Gohan asks, "What do you mean?" The dragon replies, "Boria has waged war before. During that war, large parts of this multiverse were destroyed. 6 universes of Multiverse 1 were erased." Vegeta frowns. "Whis told us Zeno erased them themselves." The dragon says, "That was a lie. Zeno can erase universes at will, but those 6 were destroyed during the Great War. Afterward, Zeno forced everyone, including me, to swear silence." He continues, "And there's more. The Queen of Multiverse 3 died in that war. That's why Princess Nyan now rules. But I've learned that Multiverse 3 is secretly controlled by King Archon of Multiverse 2. Vegeta clenches his fist. "So now that Zeno is dead and the Queen is gone, Princess Nyan will lose control. Multiverse 2 and 4 will clash, and we must act." Piccolo's eyes begin to glow red. In an instant, he teleports everyone away. Watching from afar, Jiren mutters, "They disappeared. I don't know what's happening." Toppo says, "We should leave." The remaining warriors exit the arena. Elsewhere, Goku asks, "Where are we?" The dragon answers, "This is Multiverse 3. Find Princess Nyan and tell her everything. She can help us greatly. But staying inside this Namekian is exhausting. I must rest." The dragon vanishes. Piccolo returns to normal. Gohan asks anxiously, "Mr. Piccolo, are you okay?" Piccolo rubs his head. "Just a headache, but I know what's going on. I could hear the dragon using my body to speak." Vegeta asks, "So, Kakarot, what do we do now?" Goku looks up at the sky and smiles. "We do what we always do. We fight and we move forward. I want to fight those multiverse kings. I want to protect our multiverse from Boria." Vegeta smirks. "I'm with you. I want to see how far I can go. Saiyans evolve over time, but fighting powerful warriors makes us grow even faster." Goku turns to them. "Gohan, Piccolo, what about you?" Piccolo answers firmly, "We'll fight too. You'll need the dragon's power, and I want to see what that power truly is." Gohan hesitates. "Dad, I want to help, but my power isn't that high. I might just slow you down." Goku places a hand on his shoulder. "Don't say that. You can do anything you set your mind to. You haven't even realized your true potential yet, and now you're here with us." Gohan nods with determination. "I promise I won't be a burden." Goku smiles. "Then it's decided. Let's find the princess." What was her name again?" Goku asks. Vegeta sighs. "Nyan, you idiot." "Right, let's go find her." Gohan asks, "But how will we find her?" Vegeta says, "This multiverse should also have gods and angels, strong beings like ours. We just need to raise our power." Goku agrees. Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, and Piccolo begin powering up. Suddenly, a mysterious being appears in front of them. They all stop. The being asks, "Who are you people? Are you warriors of King Archon?" Vegeta replies, "No, we're looking for Princess Nyan." The being says coldly, "You have no business here. Leave this place." Goku quickly raises his hands. Wait, we didn't come here to hurt anyone. The dragon of the Super Dragon Balls brought us here." Then Goku turns serious. "Zeno has been killed. This was done by the King of Multiverse 4, Boria. The dragon told us a war between these powerful beings is about to begin. He sent us to find Princess Nyan because she might be able to help." The being responds, "The princess no longer fights. She lives in hiding in this multiverse." Vegeta narrows his eyes. Then the dragon was right. The princess is no longer in charge of this multiverse. Vegeta asks sharply, "Tell me, does King Archon of Multiverse 2 control this multiverse now?" The being's expression hardens. "Yes, that is true. My name is Canon. I am a knight of this kingdom. King Archon invaded this multiverse and took control. That bastard broke the princess's fighting spirit by killing everyone she cared about. Only the princess and I remain in hiding. Goku pleads, "Kanon, please, can you let us meet her?" Kanon thinks for a moment. "Fine, but on one condition. If you truly came here on the dragon's command, then you must be strong. Fight me. If even one of you defeats me," he continues, "I'll take you to the princess. If not, I'll kill all of you." He studies them closely. "But I can't sense any power from you. If you're lying, admit it now." Goku smiles. "That's fine, I'll fight you." Vegeta steps forward. "Wait, Kakarot, I'll fight." Gohan suddenly speaks up. "Dad, Mr. Vegeta, please let me do this. I want to see what I'm capable of." Vegeta glares at him. "Do what you want, but remember, whether we meet the princess or not depends on this fight." "Thank you," Gohan says. "I won't disappoint you." Gohan steps in front of Kanon. "I'm your opponent." Kanon nods. "Very well, but understand this. My power is equal to that of the princess. I won't hold back." Gohan answers calmly, "Neither will I." Vegeta mutters to Goku, "You heard that. He said he's as strong as the princess. If she's even as strong as a god of destruction or an angel, Gohan won't win. Are you sure about this?" Piccolo steps in. "Never underestimate a Saiyan. You're the one who always says that, Vegeta. Before the Tournament of Power, Gohan trained harder than ever before. You weren't there last time. He knew he had to become stronger, and he did. He may not be as strong as a god of destruction or an angel, but don't make the mistake of underestimating him. He's a Saiyan too." Kanon gestures. "Then show me your full power." Gohan nods. "I will."
The air in Multiverse 3 tasted different. It carried no warmth, no familiarity, only the cold, ancient silence of a realm that had forgotten what peace felt like. The sky above was a bruised canvas of deep violet and gray, fractured at the horizon by distant streaks of light that looked less like stars and more like wounds in the fabric of existence itself. The ground beneath their feet was cracked obsidian, vast and featureless, stretching in every direction like the floor of a dead world. There was no wind. There was no sound. There was only the weight of everything that had already happened and the crushing certainty that what was coming would be far worse. Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, and Piccolo stood together in this alien stillness, their bodies still carrying the marks of the chaos they had barely survived. Gohan's clothes were torn at the shoulders, dried blood tracing lines down his forearms. Piccolo stood with quiet discipline, his eyes scanning the environment with the patient focus of a warrior who had learned long ago that danger rarely announced itself. Vegeta crossed his arms, his jaw tight, his gaze fixed forward with the kind of controlled intensity that only barely concealed the storm raging beneath the surface. And Goku. Goku stood with his hands loose at his sides, his expression open and present, already reading the energy of this strange new place with senses that had been honed across millions of years of survival. Before them stood Kanon. He was not a being who announced himself through size or spectacle. He was lean, composed, and utterly still, the kind of stillness that did not come from calm, but from absolute confidence. His eyes were steady and measuring, the eyes of someone who had already run every calculation and arrived at his conclusions before the conversation had even begun. There was a quiet authority in his posture. A soldier's bearing refined into something more, the posture of a knight who had outlasted everything his world had thrown at him and remained standing through sheer refusal to fall. He had told them the condition: fight him. One of them had to defeat him. Only then would he take them to Princess Neon. And Gohan had stepped forward. Not out of recklessness, not out of desperation, but out of something quieter and more dangerous than either of those things: pride. The need to prove something not to Kanon, not to his father or Vegeta, but to himself. The promise he had made sat in his chest like a stone, heavy and immovable. He would not be a burden. He had said it clearly, and a son did not take back his word. Gohan rolled his neck slowly, feeling the familiar electricity of his power gathering along his spine. Then, he let it surface. The transformation into his mystic form, his ultimate state, unfolded without theatrics. There was no explosion, no pillar of light, no dramatic scream. The energy simply rose around him like a tide coming in, steady and enormous, filling the surrounding air with a pressure that was difficult to breathe against. His hair lifted slightly, his eyes sharpened into something that sat at the edge between focus and detachment, and the ground beneath him cracked in a perfect ring, as though the earth itself was acknowledging what stood upon it. Vegeta's eyes narrowed almost imperceptibly. Piccolo said nothing, but the faintest ghost of a smile crossed his face. "I'm ready," Gohan said. He moved. The first exchange happened so fast that the shockwave arrived before the sound did. Gohan crossed the distance between them in a single heartbeat, his right fist driving forward with everything. He had a punch carrying years of suppressed ambition and desperate training, and the memory of every time he had told himself he was done, that he had done enough, that his family needed him at home more than the world needed him on a battlefield. Kanon took it, not with effort, not with any visible strain. He received the blow the way a mountain receives rain, acknowledging it without being moved by it. Then he smiled. Not bad. The words were not condescending. They were genuine. And somehow that made them worse. Gohan attacked again. Left hook, right cross. A rising knee strike followed immediately by a downward elbow, a combination that would have shattered the defenses of anyone he had faced before. Kanon moved through every single one of them with fluid, unhurried grace, his body shifting just enough to let each strike pass within a hair's width of connecting. He was not dodging out of speed. He was dodging out of understanding. He knew where every attack was going before Gohan's muscles had finished deciding to throw it. Gohan landed 30 meters away, breathing harder than he should have been. His knuckles ached, his chest felt tight. What is this? The thought formed before he could stop it. It feels like he can see me, like he already knows. Kanon tilted his head slightly. There was something almost gentle in his expression, the way a skilled teacher looks at a student who is trying hard but has not yet understood the lesson. "What's the matter?" he asked. "Is that everything you brought with you?" From his position at the edge of the battlefield, Vegeta's voice came low and sharp, directed at Goku without turning his head. "I told you, Kakarot." Goku said nothing. His eyes were fixed on his son. His hands were trembling very slightly, not from fear of Kanon, but from the effort of staying still. "Wait," he said quietly. "Let's watch. Just a little longer." Kanon moved. He crossed the space between them in an instant that registered only as a shift in pressure, and then his fist was in Gohan's stomach. The impact was precise, not the wild power of someone trying to destroy, but the calculated force of someone who knew exactly how hard to hit to cause maximum damage without ending the fight before it had served its purpose. Gohan's body folded around the blow, and he was already airborne before the sound caught up, sent streaking toward the ground at an angle that put all of his momentum against him. He hit the obsidian earth and plowed through it, carving a trench 20 meters long before finally stopping. Dust and shattered rock rose around him in a slow, heavy curtain. "Gohan! Get up!" Piccolo's voice cut through the silence like a blade. Not panic command. The voice he had used on a training ground in the mountains years ago, when a child who did not yet understand his own power had been lying in the dirt wondering if he was strong enough. "You cannot lose like this!" Vegeta exhaled sharply. "This is over," he said, and there was no satisfaction in his voice, only cold, frustrated pragmatism. "He is not like us. We spent millions of years in that chamber. We had immortality forced upon us." Gohan walked onto this battlefield from a university lecture hall and a life built around family dinners and academic deadlines. His jaw tightened. "We need the princess. We cannot waste this chance." "Shut up, Vegeta." Piccolo's voice was even, absolute. Vegeta's head turned slowly. "What did you say to me?" Piccolo did not look at him. His eyes remained on the cloud of dust where Gohan had fallen. "I said to shut up and wait. Goku, you and Vegeta trained under conditions that should not have been survivable. You were made immortal. You had millions of years. None of that applies here." He paused. "But what you had in that chamber, Gohan was building here, in real time, under real pressure. Trust that." Vegeta said nothing. But he did not look away from the battlefield. In the settling dust, Kanon walked forward slowly. He studied the ground where Gohan had fallen with genuine curiosity, the kind of attention a craftsman gives to unexpected workmanship. "I can feel it," he said, half to himself. His energy hasn't dropped. Then, louder, "This boy is finished." He glanced toward Goku and Vegeta. "I can feel your power from here. Both of you are on a different level entirely. Why would you send someone this limited to fight me?" Vegeta made a sound that was almost a laugh but landed somewhere colder. "You want a real fight? Then you'll get one." Whatever that was, it was not a representative sample. "And then," Piccolo said, quietly and with absolute certainty, "Gohan hasn't lost." The dust cleared. Gohan was standing. Not dramatically, not with a surge of power or a defiant shout. He was standing the way someone stands when every single part of them is screaming to lie down and they have simply chosen not to listen. His shirt was torn open across the chest. Blood ran from his lip and from a cut above his left eye. His breathing came in deliberate, controlled pulls, the breathing of someone managing pain rather than recovering from it. His eyes were clear. "You haven't defeated me," he said. Kanon studied him for a long, quiet moment. Then, he attacked again. This time, he did not hold back as much. The sequence was brutal. A right straight to the jaw that snapped Gohan's head sideways, immediately followed by a left hook to the ribs, a sweeping leg takedown, and then as Gohan was falling, both hands driving him into the earth from above with enough force to send fractures spidering out across the obsidian floor in every direction. Then Kanon was on top of him, each blow landing with precision, systematic, exhausting, the kind of beating that is not about ending the fight, but about testing whether there is anything in the opponent worth the continuation of it. Every impact was an interrogation. Every second Gohan refused to stay down was an answer. "Gohan." Goku took a half step forward, his body coiling instinctively, every protective instinct he possessed screaming at him to intervene. The ground cracked beneath his foot from the force of a power that had not yet decided to restrain itself. "Wait." Piccolo's hand did not touch him. It did not need to. The word alone carried the weight of everything. Years of knowing Gohan. Years of being the person who had sat beside him when no one else would. Years of believing in something the rest of the world could not yet see. Trust your son. At this rate, he'll die. The words tore out of Goku with a rawness that had nothing to do with power levels or transformations. He was not a warrior in that moment. He was a father. "That's what I've been saying from the start," Vegeta said. Piccolo's expression did not change. "Gohan told you himself. This is his fight. He asked you to stay out. And there is something happening here that none of you are seeing clearly." He exhaled slowly. "Because you're looking at the damage instead of what's behind it." Kanon stepped back, giving Gohan room to fall, and watched instead as the Saiyans' hands found the ground and pushed. The motion was agonizingly slow. The arms shook. The breath came ragged and uneven. And then Gohan was upright again. Blood dripping from his chin onto the cracked obsidian beneath him. One hand pressed to his ribs. "If you don't want to die," Kanon said quietly, and there was something that sounded almost like genuine concern underneath the edge of his words. "Surrender." Gohan lifted his head and looked at him. His eyes were exhausted and fierce in equal measure. The eyes of someone who has found the bottom of themselves and discovered there is still something left. "I can't," he said simply. Kanon's expression shifted. Something in him that had been calculating became something else, attentive, respectful. He powered up again, his aura flaring around him, and prepared to end this with a single devastating strike. Goku moved. He was across the battlefield before the decision had fully formed, his body reacting on a level below thought. The Kamehameha energy already crackling at his palms as he brought his arm up toward Kanon in a swing that carried the full instinctive force of a father who has finally reached the end of what he can watch his child endure. And Gohan caught his arm, not with effort, with intention. Goku stopped dead. He looked at his son, and what he saw in Gohan's face stopped every argument he had before it could begin. There was no anger there, no desperation. There was only quiet, unmistakable certainty, the look of someone who knows exactly what they are doing and why. "What are you doing, Dad?" Gohan's voice was steady, not loud, not emotional. Just clear, the way truth usually is. This is my fight. You cannot take it from me. His grip on his father's arm remained firm. You have to trust me. The words landed somewhere deep in Goku's chest. He went still. Then, slowly, something in his expression shifted from panic to something older and more genuine. His eyes softened, his fist unclenched. He stepped back. "You're right," he said quietly. "I'm sorry." A pause. Then a smile, small and real and full of something that transcended power levels entirely. "I trust you. Now go show him what you've got." Kanon watched the exchange in silence. Then he turned back to Gohan with new eyes. "You are a proud warrior," he said. "I keep my promises," Gohan answered. He straightened fully, ignoring the pain with a discipline that had nothing to do with physical training and everything to do with who he had chosen to be. "I told you I would defeat you." That hasn't changed. Kanon studied him for a moment longer. Then he rolled his shoulders, and something in his stance shifted the subtle but unmistakable change of a warrior who has decided to stop testing and start fighting. "Then stop letting my punches hit you," he said, almost gently. "You've been absorbing everything, standing back up every time, but you're not attacking the way you could. If you're truly committed to this, stop surviving my attacks and start answering them." From behind Goku, Piccolo spoke quietly, his voice low enough that only Goku could hear. "Gohan never stopped training. After you and Vegeta were taken, after the Tournament of Power was announced, he trained with me every day. He showed me a transformation so powerful that his body couldn't sustain it. He collapsed. We agreed not to use it until he was ready." A beat of silence. "I think that moment has arrived." Goku looked at Piccolo for a long moment. "Why didn't you tell me?" Piccolo's expression carried something between amusement and deep, quiet pride. "Because some things your son needs to give you himself." On the battlefield, Kanon launched forward. The strike was a right-hand cross with the full weight of his power behind it, fast enough that the air compressed ahead of it, slow enough in ultra-instinct perception that Gohan could see every detail of it coming. He had absorbed this kind of blow 7 times already. He had let it land and stood back up each time, while something deep inside him built and built and built, filling the reservoir that Piccolo had watched him nearly destroy himself trying to access during their secret training sessions. The blow landed, and something broke open. Not Gohan, the sky. The transformation did not announce itself with sound. It announced itself with silence, a sudden, total absence of everything else, as though the universe itself had stopped to pay attention. Gohan's aura did not flare outward in the familiar way of a Super Saiyan, or even his ultimate state. It expanded differently, slower, and somehow more permanent, like the opening of something that had been sealed for a very long time and was not going to be closed again. The clouds above them dissolved, not blown away, simply unmade by the pressure of what was being released. His hair shifted. The obsidian ground beneath him did not crack further. It became powder, fine as ash, spreading outward in a perfect circle. The light around him took on a quality that had no precise color, something that sat between silver and gold and white and settled on none of them, as though his power was too fundamental to fit inside a conventional spectrum. Every single person present felt it. Vegeta's crossed arms dropped to his sides. His eyes widened not in alarm, but in the involuntary, unguarded recognition that happens when you witness something genuinely unprecedented. His jaw shifted. He said nothing for a long moment. Then, quietly and without looking away, how did he, while you and Goku were training for millions of years, Piccolo said, and there was a warmth in his voice that he rarely allowed to surface. Gohan was here, working with what he had. He paused. "I told you, never underestimate a Saiyan." Vegeta was silent, but he kept watching. Goku made a sound that was half laugh, half something too large for ordinary language, the pure, uncomplicated joy of a parent seeing their child become exactly who they were always meant to be, at exactly the moment the world needed them to be it. "Gohan," he breathed, and his voice was full of wonder. "That power, it's beyond Super Saiyan Blue. It's completely beyond anything I thought you could reach this fast." He let the statement sit in the air for a moment, feeling the edges of it. "How did you do this?" "Goku," Piccolo's voice was firm but not unkind. "Watch the fight." Goku snapped back to attention. Then, "Go! Gohan! You can do this!" Across the battlefield, Kanon stood in the clearing that Gohan's transformation had created around him, regarding the young Saiyan with an expression that had moved entirely past strategy and arrived at something more fundamental. He had tested thousands of warriors. He had fought beings of extraordinary power in service to a princess who no longer had a kingdom. He had seen transformations in desperation and the particular kind of strength that surfaces only when someone has nothing left to lose. He had never seen this, and he had never been surprised. Until now, he was smiling. Not the tight, measured smile of a warrior keeping his emotions in check. A real smile, large, genuine, carrying something that looked very much like gratitude. "You truly are remarkable," he said. "You have been pushed past every limit I could find in you, and instead of breaking, he stopped." Shook his head. "You became something new." He rolled his neck slowly and settled his weight forward. "Then I owe you an honest fight. Not a test, a fight." The aura that rose around Kanon was something entirely different from what Gohan had felt from him before. Where his earlier power had been controlled and deliberate, this was fundamental, deep, ancient, drawn from a well that had clearly been filled across centuries of isolation and loss and refusal to stop. The air around him ceased to behave normally. Light bent in thin arcs around his form. The ground under his feet did not crack, it simply ceased to vibrate, as though even the atoms beneath him had become still. Goku's excitement evaporated. Vegeta went rigid. Because what surrounded Kanon now, what radiated from every point of his being with the quiet, absolute certainty of a law of physics rather than a combat technique, was Ultra Instinct. Not imitated, not approximated. The genuine article, worn as naturally as breathing. "Is he as that, actually?" Vegeta's voice had lost its usual cutting edge. He sounded, for a rare and remarkable moment, genuinely unsettled. Ultra Instinct. He's using Ultra Instinct. How is a being in this multiverse capable of... Kanon's gaze moved briefly to Vegeta, then returned to Gohan. "You pushed me to this point," he said simply. "You earned an honest opponent. Then, I told you from the beginning, my power is equal to the princess's. This is what that means. Prepare yourself, because from this moment, I am holding nothing back." Goku's hands clenched at his sides. The ease with which he had watched this fight, the willingness to trust that Gohan could handle it, began to fracture under the weight of what he was now sensing. "Vegeta," he said quietly. "I know," Vegeta replied. They both knew. They had fought in Ultra Instinct. They had trained against it for a time span that dwarfed civilizations. They knew exactly what it felt like to stand in its path. And Gohan's new transformation, extraordinary as it was, undeniable and unprecedented, and the product of everything he had refused to give up on, was powerful, devastatingly powerful. But Ultra Instinct moved in a dimension that power alone could not reach. Goku took a step forward. Piccolo moved in front of him. The two men looked at each other, and in the silence between them, passed something that required no words. A conversation made entirely of trust and understanding, and the specific kind of faith that can only be built between two people who have watched each other be right, over and over, when the rest of the world was certain they were wrong. "He knows, Goku," Piccolo said. His voice was very quiet. "He can feel Kanon's Ultra Instinct. He's known for the last 30 seconds what he's walking into." A pause. "He's choosing to walk into it anyway. Honor that." Goku exhaled, slowly, completely, and stepped back. Kanon and Gohan faced each other across the ruined battlefield, two beings at the absolute edge of their respective capabilities. The space between them, charged with an energy that had nothing to do with ki, and everything to do with the particular gravity that forms when two people are about to discover the true ceiling of what they can reach. Gohan spoke first. "I made a promise," he said. His voice was steady in the way that mountains are steady, not rigid, but deep, rooted in something that did not require constant reaffirmation. "I promised I would not be a burden. I promised I would defeat you." He held Kanon's gaze without flinching. "I don't intend to break either of those promises." Kanon nodded. There was something in the motion that felt less like a combat acknowledgement and more like a bow. "Then come." They moved at the same instant. The collision was not like any of the exchanges that had come before. Those had been characterized by the controlled, deliberate quality of a test power applied and measured, boundaries explored. This was different. This was both fighters releasing the locks they had placed on themselves and meeting each other in the space where training ends and truth begins. Gohan's first strike in his new transformation was not a punch. It was a statement. The right hand that connected with Cannon's forearm block sent a wave of force outward that split the ground beneath them in a fracture line 200 meters long. And the sound arrived almost a full second later, a deep, resonant crack that rolled across the landscape like a thunderclap that could not decide which direction to travel. Cannon felt it. His eyes widened by a fraction of a millimeter, the only visible acknowledgement that the impact had registered as something outside his prior calculations. Then Ultra Instinct engaged, and Gohan's next 3 strikes found only the ghost of where Cannon had been. The battle that followed was extraordinary. Gohan threw everything at Cannon with a ferocity and precision that would have been unrecognizable to anyone who had known him only as a scholar, a father, a person who had stepped away from combat because he believed he had earned the right to a quieter life. None of that was visible now. What was visible was the truth that Piccolo had always known, that beneath the life Gohan had chosen to build, beneath the compromise and the domesticity and the deliberate setting aside of power, there lived a fighter of such elemental capability that even millions of years of training gave his father and Vegeta only a partial view of the scene. He was relentless. Rising knee strikes followed by immediate shoulder rushes. Sweeping leg attacks that forced Cannon to redirect rather than dodge outright. Energy bursts at close range timed to the tack. Millisecond openings in Cannon's Ultra Instinct movement pattern because Gohan had spent every second of this fight reading him, cataloging every micro movement, building a map of tendencies even while he was being beaten into the ground. And Cannon moved through it all. Not easily. No longer easily. The Ultra Instinct that had made his defense look effortless was now working visibly, measurably working against the sustained pressure of Gohan's transformed state. He was redirecting rather than avoiding, absorbing rather than deflecting. The battle of attrition that Gohan had been surviving was becoming, almost imperceptibly, a battle of attrition that Cannon was now also surviving. But the gap remained. Every time Gohan's attack came close, Cannon's instinctive movement was simply there first, not because he was faster, but because Ultra Instinct did not operate on the axis of speed or strength. It operated on a level beneath conscious decision. Gohan could see the openings. He could read the patterns. He could not bridge the distance between reading and execution at the speed Ultra Instinct demanded. His body was beginning to fail, not his power. His power was enormous and building still. The Saiyan biology that his father had always said would surface under sufficient pressure, doing exactly that, generating strength from damage in a cycle that had no natural end. But the physical vehicle carrying that power had absorbed punishment across the entire duration of this fight, and even transformation had limits as an analgesic. His knees buckled. He caught himself on one hand, the obsidian disintegrating under his palm. His vision swam briefly. He could feel the edges of consciousness beginning to soften, not collapse. Not yet, but approach the threshold where the mind begins to negotiate with the body about whether continuation is still possible. Vegeta's voice crossed the distance between them. Not a battle cry. Not encouragement in any conventional sense. Something more direct than that blunt as a fist, aimed precisely at everything Gohan had built his entire identity around. Gohan. The name snapped across the battlefield like a command. Remember what you promised us. Remember what you said. If you were going to collapse like this, you had no business making promises you were not prepared to keep. A pause. Not for breath, for emphasis. Think about your wife. Think about your daughter. Think about what happens to them if we do not reach the princess, if this multiverse war reaches Earth. If Boria tears through everything we know because we could not get past this one warrior. The voice dropped and somehow became more cutting for the reduction in volume. Your family is at stake. Everything is at stake. You cannot be on the ground. Silence. Then Gohan's mind went somewhere that had nothing to do with the battlefield. It went to a kitchen in the morning. The smell of breakfast. Videl's voice from the next room. Pan at the table with her head bent over homework, tongue slightly out in concentration, the exact same way Gohan himself had looked at that age. His mother calling from down the street Chi-Chi, who had sacrificed and worried and demanded and loved across every version of her son's impossible life. Goten, who still called on Sundays, who had inherited every easy laugh and none of the complicated weight. They were not abstractions. They were specific, real, present in his mind with a clarity that was sharper than anything the battlefield could offer. And underneath that clarity, underneath the love and the fear and the weight of everything he stood to lose, something else surfaced. Something that had been building since the first punch landed. Since the first time he had stood back up off that obsidian floor. Since every blow had added another layer to a foundation that was not made of energy or technique, but of pure, irreducible refusal. I will not lose. The words tore out of him with a force that had nothing to do with volume. They had everything to do with truth. Kanon, who had been preparing his final approach with the quiet precision of a warrior completing a task he respected, stopped. His eyes focused with sudden, complete attention on what was happening in front of him. Because what was happening in front of him was different. The aura around Gohan, already extraordinary, already beyond anything this multiverse had witnessed, began to do something that did not follow any pattern Kanon had ever observed. It did not simply intensify. It deepened. It became denser and more complex, like a harmony that had been missing its foundational note and had just found it. The trembling in Gohan's hands stopped, not because the damage was gone, because something more fundamental had overridden it. Kanon rushed forward, one last time, because something in him needed to know, needed the answer that only contact could provide. The hand that reached for Gohan's collar found. Instead, Gohan's palm, flat, steady, immovable. Kanon's forward momentum stopped as completely as if he had struck a wall. The shockwave from the arrested motion spread outward in a visible ring, shearing through the landscape in every direction. The two warriors were frozen in the moment Kanon's strike arrested, Gohan's hand holding it in place, neither of them breathing. Then Gohan spoke. I made a promise. His voice carried no anger, no desperation, no edge of anything except absolute quiet certainty. I told you I would not become a burden. I told you I would defeat you. I do not break my word. The energy that had been building since the first blow landed released, not as an attack, as a revelation. The transformation that came was not something that could be adequately described in terms of color or intensity or comparative power levels. It was something that felt, to everyone watching, like a door opening not violently, not dramatically, but with the kind of inevitable rightness of something that had always been there and was now simply visible. The sky above the battlefield changed. The clouds that had dissolved earlier were replaced by something else, not clouds, but a luminous atmospheric disturbance that radiated outward from Gohan's position, like the wake of something that had passed through the very nature of this world and changed it. Vegeta's expression, which had moved through dismissal and frustration and reluctant respect over the course of this battle, arrived, finally, at something he almost never permitted himself. He smiled, not warmly, but genuinely. Piccolo exhaled slowly, and in the release of that breath was everything he had been holding for years. Every training session, every moment of faith, every time he had looked at this young man and seen something the rest of the world was not yet able to see. Thank you, Vegeta, he said quietly. What you said to him, it reached him. More than you probably realize. Vegeta did not respond, but he did not look away from the battlefield. Goku was vibrating with a joy so large it had nowhere to go. Gohan, that power. He shook his head, laughing, the sound genuine and helpless. It's past Super Saiyan Blue. It's genuinely past it. When did he… Goku, Piccolo said. Right, yes, Goku refocused. Then, at full volume, directed across the shattered battlefield toward his son. Come on, Gohan, you've got this. Kanon faced the transformed Gohan and was silent for a long moment. Then he did something that no one present had expected. He powered down. Not completely, not as a concession, as a choice. His ultra instinct receded like a tide going out, not because it had been defeated, but because what stood in front of him no longer required him to be at full capacity in order for the fight to be real. He was settling into a level that matched the moment of recognition between two warriors who have tested each other honestly and arrived at understanding. "You truly are remarkable," he said again. The words were the same as before, but they carried entirely different weight now. Before, they had been an assessment. Now, they were a verdict. "You refuse to break. You refuse to accept the ceiling that everyone else could see above you." His expression was open, almost wondering. "I've fought many warriors across this multiverse. What I just watched, what you just did, I have not seen before." He straightened. The calculation, and the guard, and the careful distance of a knight fulfilling a duty all stepped aside, and what remained was something simpler. Respect. "I yield," Cannon said. The battlefield held the silence for a moment that felt much longer than it was. And then Gohan, the transformation still holding around him, that unprecedented luminous aura still radiating outward across the cracked obsidian landscape, closed his eyes, and the power went out, not in stages, all at once, like a light extinguished. The aura collapsed inward to nothing in an instant, and Gohan's body, which had been held upright by something that had nothing to do with physical capability, received the accumulated verdict of everything it had endured. He was still for a single suspended moment, suspended in the air by the fading memory of the transformation, perfectly motionless, as though even gravity was waiting for permission. Then, from the far edge of the battlefield, a voice arrived, calm, quiet, carrying an authority that was nothing like Cannon's soldiers bearing or Vegeta's princely edge, something different, something that belonged to someone who had been forged by loss into a particular kind of stillness. Cannon. The knight turned instantly. His composure, which had bent and shifted across the entire course of the battle, snapped back into position with the precision of long habit. "Princess." His voice carried something complicated. Relief. Guilt. A protectiveness that had not diminished in whatever time he had spent guarding someone who no longer had a throne. "What are you doing here?" Princess Neon moved across the landscape with the economy of motion that belongs to people who have learned to carry great weight across long distances. She was not what any of them had expected. Not the tragic figure of a deposed ruler. Not the hardened warrior of a multiverse survivor. She was simply present deeply, attentively present, her eyes moving across the scene with a precision that seemed to absorb everything at once. They came to rest on Gohan. Something changed in her expression, subtle and immediate, the way expression changes when you encounter something that doesn't fit the categories you've been using. "You pushed him to his full power," she said to Cannon, and the statement was not an accusation. I felt two enormous energies collide from a significant distance. It was enough to make me come. A pause, her attention still on Gohan, both of them. Cannon said, quietly and with genuine feeling. "This is an extraordinary warrior. Whatever I expected to find here, it was not this. I respect him more than I can adequately express." Gohan, whose transformation had fully receded, whose body had returned to the ordinary limits of someone who had been in a serious fight and was now at the end of what those limits would sustain, floated in the air for one more second. Neon stepped forward. She extended a single finger and pressed it, with the lightest possible touch, against Gohan's shoulder. It was the gentlest gesture in the room, the most careful thing anyone had done in the entire duration of what had just occurred, and it was enough. Gohan fell. His eyes were already closed before he reached the ground, and when he landed, it was not with the crash of defeat, but with the quiet of someone who has finished something enormous and has finally been given permission to rest. His body settled against the cracked obsidian of Multiverse 3, and the last traces of his aura faded into the charged air around him, dispersing slowly like light at the end of a long day. The warrior who had walked onto this battlefield with a promise, who had stood back up more times than his body had any right to accommodate, who had refused every offered ceiling until he found the one that was truly his, lay still at last. Around him, in the silence that belongs only to endings and beginnings, 4 people stood watching. A knight who had tested him and been genuinely surprised, a princess who had arrived to witness the conclusion of something she already understood to be significant, a teacher who had never once doubted, and a father whose smile contained everything words could not carry. Above them, the wounded sky of Multiverse 3 hung still and watching. Whatever came next, the princess, the multiverse war, Borea and Arcan, and the fracturing of a cosmic order that had already been irreparably broken, it would come. But for this moment, in this place, on this shattered ground, something had been proven. The name of what had been proven was Gohan,